now proceeding on to the next session. It will again be a 30 minutes session owing to time constraints. And session number 10, technology strategies for sustainability goals. And I would request Mr. Raj Shekhar Joshi, Mr. Raj Shekhar Joshi, who is an IIT Roorkee alumnus with more than 3 decades of experience in industries in India and abroad, including entrepreneurship and top positions like CEO, Senior VP, Business Head in leading corporates, and also in education and social sectors. He is a former National Working Committee member of Software Export Promotion Council and Special Inviting Member in Power Technology Group Cabinet Secretariat GOI. Can I have a huge round of applause for this gentleman, please?
Hello. I often get opportunities and blessed with speaking on various topics on technology, environment, social, and policy matters, but nothing makes me revel more than technology because it's my core subject, which is there. So the session which we have right now is technology strategies for sustainable goals. And in this session, along with me, I'm very pleased to invite Shri Mahesh Kshirshagarji, Chief Technology Officer, Analytics and Insights at TCS. Maheshji. And I'm also pleased to invite Shri Sandeep Saxena ji, Global Head Data Marketplace, TCS. Please come on. So as we've been discussing, there are 3 main, very clear dimensions to addressing the challenges of, climate change and so sustainability. One is technology and innovation. Other is resources and finance. And then third is adoption and scale. And of course, along in pins is execution of these plans, which is there. Technology can have many dimensions. As technology strategy is a very wide word. It could be in terms of materials research, because if we see often that a speaker was saying that if we employ many climate change mitigation technologies or ways like solar and so on, or electric, there are at the same time, there are what you call as collateral costs, because suddenly you would find a bump up in, for example, if solar panel, if you use copper, aluminum, you need to produce copper, which is again a highly pollutant, the process is very pollutant. So what new materials could be there, which could help reach the climate change goals, or even electric, for example, electric cars, you use fossil fuels for production of electricity. So materials production, materials research, new materials and new ways are extremely important. And things like, how we make alternate to fossil fuels, carbon sucking technologies, and also, technology strategies are also in the area of, let's say, Google Earth. There are 20,000 images which get, uploaded to Google Earth every day. And Google Earth has a program through which you can track globally what's happening. For example, if there is a eruption in part of the world, it could be tracked easily. It was recently that China at some place, suddenly we had a lot of flare up because where was the methane coming from? And methane, as you know, is far more pollutant than carbon dioxide in the short term, a hugely pollutant gas. So technologies for tracking, which is there. So there are multiple dimensions. There is a short-term time frame. There is a medium-term and long-term, because we have the crisis at hand. Many technology will take time to mature. They have to be low-tech or high-tech, alternates which could be used in India, in an Indian cost, or this could be used. So there are many, many dimensions to it, technology which is there. The other thing is that, as we all know, that there is a very clear process which is there. What we call as in technology, we have to observe, we have to capture, we have to measure, and we have to act. And that's where technology plays a very, very important role, which is there. So in this, continuing this discussion forward, maybe I will request Maheshji to speak on his insight, with his insights and experience on technology, and especially as I hear that he has worked very deeply on how you measure. Because if you can't measure, you can't act. It's as simple as that. Otherwise we'll just in a gross way and we will not be able to address things. So Maheshji, very happy to, if you could share your insights and presentation you have with the audience here. Thank you, Maheshji, for very eloquently expressing and sharing the art of measurement and its many dimensions, which are very critical for taking action. So I have my other colleague panelist, Shri Sandeep Saxena ji. As they say that the crisis laid bare all best of plans, and Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan and they cruise till they get punched in the face. So crises are a part of life. And in 2015, when the UN SDG goals were determined, and 2 years later, measurement criteria, but of course, 2030 achievability was very difficult. And then came pandemic. Of course, it had some brighter points also. We could see peacocks in Bombay, and we could see Himalayas from some of the towns. However, pandemic, of course, laid the whole society, nation, and the world. It shook the whole thing. And at that time, I think in these kind of crises, which are going to be part of life, we have war out now happening in Europe and so on. Technology plays a very important role, because what you could plan out and you could act upon and you could take a lot of time to do, collecting stakeholders, collecting data, taking actions, all these things could be technologies of great use in this area. So I'll invite Sandeep ji on especially when it came to COVID, what kind of strategies, and especially in the technology area, were taken by TCS. And I think it lays a very good template, because crises are going to be part of our life as we go forward in our society. Sandeep, please.